Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to episode 101 of the It's Obvious Gaming podcast. I'm your host, Preston Pugh, and I'm joined by my two best friends, Garrett Drake.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. It's good to see you.
And Jacob Alka.
Hey, guys.
Gentlemen, how are we doing this fine Saturday afternoon? I was going to go right into that, but you distracted me.
Yeah, you threw us off there a bit, Jacob. I like your style. Mixing things up on episode 101, we've officially started over to reach our next milestone, 200 episodes. The journey has begun. I'm excited.
Should be another Saturday. 2 and some change years.
It should be, yeah. That's if the world doesn't explode or we don't implode on ourselves or kill each other before then. We will see how it goes, but it's good to be here nonetheless. It's a beautiful Saturday, and had a decent weekend so far. I went to my sister's college graduation at the University of Georgia last night, and ironically, in May, it was quite cold, and by cold I mean it was in the high 40s with a wind chill of about 44. And I sat in Sanford Stadium and froze to death for about 3.5 hours. And it was not too exciting, but that was how my Friday night went. And that was really exciting. That's the extent of my weekend so far. But it's beautiful today. Had some great T-Bell. Actually, it was out of control at T-Bell today. Also, you can hear my dogs in the background keeping it real for us.
Yep.
And, just Taco Bell is probably the highlight of my weekend so far. And being here with you guys.
Unfortunately, Taco Bell, I don't think was the highlight of me and Jacob's day today.
Why is that?
One of my worst experiences.
Of course, they got Jacob's order wrong twice in a row, which is so bad. Yeah. Holy crap, that's bad.
It ruined it for
That's
me.
Like unprecedented for this Taco Bell, because I speak very highly of this Taco Bell we regularly visit.
Yeah.
And they're letting me down today. Granted, I ordered... What I initially had ordered was fine. My Mexican pizza wasn't the best I'd had. There wasn't equal coverage of all the toppings all over it. But whatever, it was fine. But Jacob got an extra quesarito, and I was a little bit hungry after, so I decided to eat it. And I was not satisfied with it. It wasn't the best I've had by any means. It wasn't the worst I've had, but it was definitely not the best I've had. And I expect better from this Taco Bell. So,
that's a shame.
Little disappointing.
No, I was disappointed in their timeliness because they were extremely backed up to the point. I'm pretty sure we waited about 15 minutes for our food, which is fine. We're patient. We weren't in a rush or anything.
That's the thing. It seemed like there were plenty of people back there.
Right. I don't know what the problem was, but see, that's what's funny is that you guys had a mediocre experience where the quality of my meal, not only was it absolutely correct, thankfully, but the quality was top notch. It was excellent. One of the best quesadillas I've ever had there. My fiery gordita was on point, and that beefy nacho griller, man, it was delicious. But that's so funny.
How come you get one and I know
Jacob's order is completely incorrect. He goes back to correct it, and they're like, "All right, man, we'll get right on that."
First, they give me 2 burritos.
Yeah,
I originally ordered 2 beefy nacho grillers. They give me 2 burritos. I take it back. I'm like, I got 2 beefy nacho grillers. They're like, okay, we'll correct that for you. I wait, 2 minutes, and I see they put quesarito wrappings on my tray.
Wrong again.
They originally said that they were out of the beefy nacho griller, wraps or whatever. So I was like, okay, it's just grillers and the quesarito wrap. So I go back to the table, sit back down, and lo and behold, they're quesaritos.
Yeah,
and
twice in a row.
Like Preston said, they weren't very good. So
no, I mean. And I guess in Taco Bell's defense, the poor girl at the cash register seemed entirely focused on anything but running that cash register at Taco Bell, so no wonder she got most of the orders wrong.
Did you see when we left, she was just like walking around the lobby, and there's like 2 people waiting in line. I don't even know what she was doing. She's just walking around.
Yeah.
But having worked at a Taco Bell, guys, it is not that hard.
Really?
It's so easy. It all comes down to prep, like if you have everything ready. And I kind of glanced back there, and they're making stuff, so they have stuff. I mean, it's all the food back there is essentially the same thing, just in a different wrapping.
Right.
I mean, that's all Taco Bell food is. So it's not that hard to put everything together. Right. So I don't understand how the backup at this Taco Bell even occurs.
I don't know.
I think it probably just comes down to management. I don't think it's managed correctly or efficiently. It is a shame.
But at least we had Taco Bell. That's the what I take away from today. At least we had it.
Okay.
So
that's fine.
Yeah. What else have you guys been up to this weekend?
This weekend?
Yes.
Nothing this week. Well, I guess this week. I don't even remember. This week went by with such a blur. Like, I honestly don't even remember what I did this week, Garrett.
Okay. Did you work?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't?
I don't think so. Did I work? I did work. Did I work?
I don't know.
I think I did.
You worked earlier this week, not this weekend, though.
You're right. I worked Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
That's it.
Nice. That's a good week.
Oh, yeah. It was fine, I guess. I worked a tiny bit. And then I don't know what I did there. I know I played some video games, but besides that, I guess I packed a little bit for the move that's upcoming. And I got our internet set up. So that's good. Got some decent internet.
Nice. That's a necessity nowadays. Or as
absolutely.
Jacob would say, a must need.
A must need, absolutely. So I got all Comcast. So hopefully my previous experience with Comcast at the house I currently am at was not very good. We ended up ditching them and got the fiber through AT&T.
That is such a blessing.
Yeah, well, AT&T only has their top speed over where I'm going to be is 75 megabytes per second, while Xfinity's top speed is 150 megabytes per second, and it's the same price. So I just had to go with Xfinity.
Absolutely.
I have a 30-day money back guarantee thing, so if I'm just completely unsatisfied with the service at the new place, I can get a refund back and check out my other options.
Are you doing cable through Comcast?
No, we decided to not do cable at all.
Good call.
Primarily because we don't really use it. The only thing I use cable for really is for sports. And I was thinking if on a Saturday when a football game's going on, I'm probably going to be at my parents' house anyways, watching with them. We all watch football together. So, and if worst case scenario, if I have to watch it at my house, I can just pull up the ESPN app on, our Apple TV or whatever, and use my parents' login information for their DirecTV and just watch it through that. So if I ever need to watch TV, I can just, borrow my parents' login information and just watch it from there. So, but we'll be primarily just watching Netflix and stuff. We do have a limit of a terabyte of data a month, and I was thinking we shouldn't go over a terabyte of data a month, just the two of us. Don't you think?
I have no idea. I've never had a data limit, so I don't know what it actually is like to be limited. I'm
pretty sure we had a data limit on Comcast, and we would occasionally go over, and they would charge I think $10 for every 20 extra gigabytes over the terabyte, and we had 4 people using the internet nonstop all day, and we'd sometimes go over. So I'm thinking between 2 people we should be fine. I don't buy my games digitally, so I'm not downloading massive files. When I do, it's just little updates that are a gig or 2. So I think we should be good with a terabyte. But the lady selling, trying to get me to buy everything in the world, she was telling me if you upgrade for $25 a month, you'll have unlimited stuff. But that adds up over time, especially over our year contract. So I think we should be good with a terabyte, but I'll monitor to see how we're doing. And if I need to purchase that unlimited data, then oh well, it needs to be done. I did that on the way home today. I got to go buy a sofa and I keep forgetting what the name is. The little mini sofa, a love seat. I believe it's called a love seat. A sofa and a love seat. And then we purchased a entertainment center. I got to purchase some TV mounts too. So, yeah.
Just doing all kinds of fun adult stuff, I see.
Yeah, exactly.
It all sounds really thrilling.
It is actually kind of exciting. It is exciting, kind of just getting your own place and making it making it look like the way you want it to look. I'm more excited. I just like doing hanging TVs and stuff. That's just entertaining to me. So I'm excited to do that. But it's way funner than it sounds like, because going to buy a sofa sounds like one of the worst experiences you can do, but I don't know, I'm kind of excited to
if it's your own sofa or your own couch.
Yeah. That's just weird just saying that. Yeah, I'm going to buy a sofa. I know that doesn't sound weird, but it feels weird, if that makes sense, because I've never bought a piece of furniture before. Yeah. So that just sounds something like my parents do.
I remember when we moved to Florida when I was in middle school, we were on such a budget that we bought all of our furniture from Goodwill. We bought a couch for $10, an end table for $5, and a couple of chairs for $20. I think under $50 we bought all the furniture for our apartment. It was all incredibly ugly. I think we had lawn chairs as our kitchen table chairs. So good times. If you're on a budget and you need to afford furniture, go to Goodwill. They got you covered.
Nice. We were thinking about going there. We found these leather couches at Rooms to Go, and they're having this cool, like, no interest, like, couple of months thing. So essentially you just have to pay $10 a month and it's interest free.
Mm-hmm. You paid a visit to IKEA yet?
No, not yet.
Probably save some killer cash there as well.
Do they do couches and stuff?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Well, we got a pretty good deal at Rooms to Go, and it's pretty close to us. So the IKEA is like in downtown Atlanta. Isn't it?
You take a risk with IKEA, that stuff will fall apart on you real quick.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. I think my bed frame's IKEA.
Okay. I think some of this stuff is bound to be IKEA in here. I don't remember what is or what isn't, but probably these crappy chairs we're sitting in. We've been sitting in them for how long now?
Did you buy that table from IKEA?
This table?
No.
Which table?
The one that was in our
apartment?
Yeah.
Maybe.
The one in which room?
The glass table?
The kitchen table.
The kitchen table. Oh, no.
The one that you broke.
That wasn't IKEA, was it?
I have no idea what it was.
Like IKEA. I know
it's funny
that coffee table you put your fist through in your room, that was IKEA.
Oh, yeah. Now we no wonder you broke through it with your fist. Now these chairs we're sitting in, were these the kitchen chairs we had at the apartment?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that glass table is so funny. My mom and I don't know how we didn't realize this, but the glass was not attached to the table. It just sat on top of the frame of the table. And we sat on that table for a year, had all these great memories, had bowls of cereal together, had some T-Bell, played some Diablo, and the moment we move out, the table, or the glass slides off the table and we're leaving the apartment and shatters everywhere. So devastating. I'll never forget it. That poor table.
That poor table.
Hey, speaking of killing things, I accidentally slaughtered a bird on the way home from Taco Bell today. It flew out in front of my car on this main road, and Jacob was with me. And I saw it disappear in front of the grill of my car. I'm like, I definitely just killed that bird. I looked at my rear view, and feathers were flying everywhere, and there's the corpse of the bird on the ground. And I was just praying that I killed it on impact and that it wasn't suffering. But it was slaughtered, and it was very sad. That's the second bird I've killed in this car.
You monster.
The previous bird I found in the grill of my car, already decomposed mostly. I was like,
dude.
He'd been there for a while, and I'm pretty sure he's still there because I keep forgetting to take him out. So I've had the corpse of a dead bird, probably bones at this point, residing in my car. I can start building up a collection of dead animals in the grill of my car.
Nice.
Nothing I'm proud of, but they're just facts I'm stating with everyone.
Okay.
So I am an animal slayer. What do you call it when it's unintentional manslaughter? What's it called? Involuntary manslaughter?
I think so.
It's involuntary bird slaughter on my end.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry that I'm a serial killer sitting in this table, boys.
We really worked up about this. I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, I'll be all right. I mean, I've only
probably turn yourself into PETA.
I've only killed a handful of animals in my life accidentally. One I tried to kill intentionally. I immediately regretted it. But the only other animal I think I've killed was
what type of animal?
It was a squirrel. So I'll get to the story in a moment. But the yeah, I think I've told you the story. It's rather humiliating.
Did you like shoot it with a BB gun?
I did, yeah. But I think I killed a rabbit once. I ran over it in my car. And I've dodged far more animals than I've killed. Every animal that I see that I can dodge, if there's no one directly behind me, I'll always do some kind of maneuver where, you've seen Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, where he spins the Jeep out and he flips like 100 times to land in the parking spot. Yeah. See, I've had to pull that off on numerous occasions to dodge several animals. And I always manage to flip my car over them, land on my wheels, and keep going. But good times. But other than that, I have swerved around some squirrels, swerved around some possums. But the one time there was a squirrel in my backyard was when I was a young boy in my middle school years. My grandfather used to tell me, Garrett, when I was your age, there were squirrels harassing my dog in the backyard. I'd take out the BB gun, pop them in the head, and they'd fall down to the ground dead. It's like, wow, that's so cool. As a kid, I just playing Call of Duty and stuff. I was like, I want to shoot something. That'd be awesome. The violence within me coming out. So I see a squirrel. I've been harassing my dog for definitely a few weeks at this point. I'm like, I'm gonna be like my granddaddy and shoot that squirrel with my BB gun. So I went out there, pumped the BB gun, and he was sitting on the fence just eating a nut or something. I was like, you're mine, bitch. Pumped that thing to oblivion, shot it, one shot, one kill, hit it in the neck. And as soon as the squirrel got hit in the neck, it just hit the ground, started flopping around violently, like grabbing at its neck and stuff. And as soon as I witnessed it, I was like, oh my gosh, what have I done? So the squirrel's suffering on the ground. I'm like scared to death being this idiot. I was probably like 6th or 7th grade at the time. And I just put the BB gun down and went inside and just hoped it would go away. So I went there and sat on the couch for an hour just contemplating what I had done. I'm like, you monster, who are you? Why would you hurt that poor animal? An hour later, I can't stop thinking about it. I go out to check on it, and the squirrel's gone. So either he went off to die elsewhere, or his squirrel brethren picked him up and took him into a tree and buried him in the tree fort or something.
Or maybe a hawk ate him.
Yeah, perhaps, I just like to think that he survived.
Maybe a team of squirrel EMTs came to his aid and brought him back to life.
Right.
That's what I would like to think.
Yeah. Other than that, I've never shot another animal, so never even had the urge to. But it was the only animal I've attempted to kill. All the rest I killed unintentionally. So that's my animal killing story for today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've killed a few doves.
Have you?
Dove hunting, yeah.
What kind of weapons you use?
A shotgun.
Okay, I was hoping you'd say some kind of boomerang.
Boomerang?
That'd be way cooler.
No, shotgun. That's the...
What gauge was it?
58.
Okay, I was waiting for the Napoleon Dynamite reference there.
What? 12
gauge. What do you think?
No, actually, it was a 12 gauge, which is surprising because my grandfather was a professional hunter most his life. I've only gone hunting with him one time, so it was fun though. I liked it.
I had a gentleman who I worked with previously, who very passionate hunter. He invited me on numerous hunting trips, and I always said I had stuff going on, but. Not that I'm opposed to hunting, but I never really felt like going out there at the crack of dawn and hunting down a deer and shooting it in the face with a bow and arrow.
He didn't do deer hunting anymore. He said he thought deers were too pretty to hunt.
All right, they are pretty animals.
He did turkey hunting.
Okay.
He actually won a few contests turkey hunting, and actually quite a few. And just he would explain to me just the process of getting turkeys, and it just fascinated me. But fortunately, I never went with him. Probably won't go with him either now. But maybe, who knows? Maybe one day we can.
Right.
But anyways, I did a lot of adult stuff this week.
You did.
Hardly played any games. Actually, I did dive into Persona a little bit more. Played about 6 or 7 hours on one day. I kind of plowed through it. I'm at the fifth palace. I think there's 6 palaces. I think I heard that from somebody. So I should be kind of coasting into the end eventually. I'm about almost 70 hours in. I've heard that a playthrough should take between like 80 or 100 hours, so I don't know, I should be getting there. I hope I'm kind of not, though, because my confidence aren't to 10, but I'm still being introduced to new confidence. Wow. So I don't know how like fast I'm supposed to, get them up, because I'm assuming the game ends around December or like November.
I think it goes into the next year.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because I'm in like September, I think, or October, and if the game's ending in like November or December, there's no way I can get all these things up. So
yeah, I think it's like a whole year or something.
Okay, that's good to know. But I'm still loving that game to death. Like I said last time, it's still keeping my interest completely, and that's all I want to play. And I played a little bit of Prey, but we'll talk about that later. That's pretty much all I did this week.
Nice. I'm only 25 hours into Persona. I've just beat the second palace, and that's actually on our YouTube channel, me beating the second palace with Jacob. I've had no time to play it, unfortunately. We've been cranking out a lot of videos, though, specifically Outlast 2 and Little Nightmares. I wouldn't say I'm loving Outlast. Outlast is cool and all, but I'm not enjoying it nearly as much as I'm enjoying Little Nightmares. Little Nightmares is, like I said originally, I was like, oh, this feels very Inside inspired, and it certainly feels that way, but as soon as you encounter the first monster of this vessel you're in, it's definitely standing on its own, and I'm loving it so far.
Can I ask you a question about Little Nightmares?
Yes.
Is there a platinum?
I haven't looked.
Okay.
That shows how little I care about trophies. I have no idea.
Wow.
I would like to think there is, but I have not checked myself. You about to look it up?
Yeah, I'll check really quick.
Okay, I know that'll get you to play it.
I'm very interested, but if there's a platinum, then I'll be highly interested.
Okay. No, it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. It's definitely creepy and a lot of fun. And I'm enjoying exploring that world. And I can't wait to get into more of it. But played some Mario Kart on the stream Tuesday night. That was pretty fun. I don't remember much from it. It feels like a lifetime ago we were playing Mario Kart. But Mario Kart's fantastic. I love it every time I play it. And I know Sam Harris and I think a couple others have picked up Switches as of recently. We'd love to exchange friend codes with all of you. There's no platinum, Preston?
No platinum.
That's okay.
There's only 13 trophies.
It's all right.
No platinum, no play.
No platinum, no play.
Okay. All right, boys.
Just kidding. I'll definitely play it.
But yeah, we definitely need to exchange friend codes and play some Mario Kart, especially in the next stream we do. We can get a bunch of us in there. It'd be awesome. Someone needs to take down Preston.
I'll kick anyone's ass.
Yeah, I can't do it myself. I mean, every now and then I'll beat Preston, but 9 times out of 10, the man's going to beat me. So I need some help, please. Everyone throw as many shells at Preston at once. That'd be wonderful. But I also played some Titanfall 2 on the Thursday night stream with you, Wednesday night stream.
That was a cluster.
I actually had a lot of fun with it.
I suck.
I don't think you suck.
I'm not good at Titanfall. I'm not used to Twitch shooters right now. Like, I need a good day or two to like get back into the groove of that. I'm just used to Persona and Mario Kart. Even getting into Prey, I had to play for like an hour just to get used to a first-person shooter.
Okay. Well, despite the struggle, did you have fun with it?
Yeah, I had fun. I like Titanfall.
I thought seriously, I had like a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
We played with Kyle as well.
I could have done a little better.
And
I felt like I was bringing you guys down.
I don't think so.
Games.
I think it was fine. I think I've seen worse, believe me. And you were not the worst I've seen, Preston.
Thanks.
But it was an honor losing alongside you 90% of our matches. So, but that was a lot of fun, and I would like to play Titanfall again just for fun if you guys enjoy Titanfall, because every time I play it, I'm like reminded of how much fun it is.
Yeah, it's fun.
So, I think that's all I played this week. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's about all I played. What about you, Jake?
I've been working a lot more than usual this week for some reason, but I only played a little bit of Persona this week. I'm about halfway through the 5th palace, I believe, so it's going pretty good. Hoping to finish that game up within the next couple weeks. Because I'd like to, if I can find I'm pursuing a Nintendo Switch, but I can't seem to find one because no one has them, which is frustrating.
It is.
But I'm always going to be looking for one of those. But if I don't find one soon, I'll probably just jump into Prey after I finish Persona, because that game looks pretty good. I know you're going to talk about it later.
Yeah.
And you've been saying some good things.
I have.
Are there reviews up for it yet? I don't think there are.
There are a few. Game Informer's reviews up. Guy I follow, ACG, his reviews up.
What are they like? Are they positive?
Yeah, they're positive. The lowest score I've seen in terms of a score being presented was Game Informer, but it was an 8.25. That was the lowest I've seen.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's all I played this week. But I was thinking about something yesterday.
What's that?
So, we go to the movies a lot, right?
We do.
Why is it weird for someone to go to the movies by themselves?
I don't think it's weird.
I think a lot of people do think it's weird.
Okay.
Like if you see someone in the movie theater just by themselves, like you're like, why is he here by himself?
I throw popcorn at him and laugh at him.
Like he throws popcorn at people.
Right. Yeah, sometimes you just run over and kick him in the shins.
I was just thinking about it because watching a movie is something you're doing. It's in silence. It's a very individual activity.
Mm-hmm.
So
unless we look over to each other and look at each other's eyes and smile and laugh, and I might grope your breast in the middle of the scene.
Sometimes we kiss during the movie too.
Yeah, just like a quick, while we're watching it. But other than that, it is kind of a solo act, like you mentioned.
I feel like it always has been.
I saw a movie by myself for the very first time in my life a few months ago when John Wick 2 was in theaters. Now, I'd already seen it once with my girlfriend, but she had some kind of project going on one day after school, and I can't remember which quarter it was, but whichever quarter it was, we, after class, we would go see movies together on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, this particular day, she had to stay after school. I'm like, well, I don't want to battle all the traffic going home, so I guess I'll go see a movie till she's done doing what she's got to do. So I went across the street to see John Wick 2 by myself for the first time, and it was actually a great experience. One, because I was a little more laid back watching it because I'd already seen it, so I didn't have to really give it all my attention. Not that I was on my phone or anything, but I felt very relaxed, and I sat there, and there was actually several other gentlemen, and they're all by themselves seeing John Wick 2. Mm-hmm. And I believe I inspired one man to get a snack, because about halfway through the movie, like, man, I could really go for an icy and some popcorn. So obviously I've seen the movie, so I dip out for about 5 minutes, get a popcorn and icy. I sit down and start enjoying it, and about 10 minutes later, the guy who was sitting behind me left, and moments later he came back with a popcorn and icy as well. So I believe I inspired him to get some snacks, and it was a great experience. So I don't think it's weird at all.
I saw a movie by myself last year, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
But that was the first time that I had done it too.
Interesting.
I've been to a movie by myself before.
Never?
No, I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, out of town. When I was out of town just looking for something to do, I went.
All right.
I believe I went and saw... I don't even remember what I saw. I don't think I liked it very much.
It was in a Nicholas Sparks movie.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage movie.
It was Dear John.
Dear John.
Yes.
The man who's a deer man.
Yes.
He has antlers and all.
Yeah.
He hangs out with that girl.
The horror thriller movie.
Horror thrilly.
Yeah.
Thriller.
Horror thrilly movie.
Yeah.
Horror thrilly.
Yeah. My favorite genre.
Horror thriller. Horror is such a hard word to say. Horror. You kind of have to really pronounce it, but you sound like an idiot. Horror.
Okay.
Because people mistake you for saying horror all the time. You know that horror movie? So you don't want that to happen.
Nope. Did you know Prey? I saw its category on some reviews as it was a horror shooter.
Horror shooter.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of got that vibe, but I consider it more of a thrilly shooter.
A thrilly shooter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems more thriller to me.
It's not scary.
No.
Not at all?
No.
The only thing that'll spook you, and isn't really spooky, it's just because it takes you off guard when something will jump out at you randomly, but that's only because it's like intense music and something jumps in your face. You can have a bunny rabbit jumping in your face, and if it adds the scary music, then you're going to squeal at it. So,
I mean, it gives you a feeling of just like you're on this, for the most part, desolated spacecraft with nobody on it. So you have just this feeling of just, you're alone.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I guess it's kind of unnerving at some points, but I wouldn't classify it as like a horror shooter, in my opinion.
Right. Now, I would consider a horror, maybe not a horror shooter, but sort of horror-esque would be the Alien Isolation game. That's more horrific to me.
That's horrific because... Isolation. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were talking about Colonial Marines.
No.
That's just horror just because the game sucks so bad it's scary.
No, Isolation is definitely scary, but
I never played that.
Neither did I. I've heard they may make a sequel to it.
That'd be cool. I don't know if I'd play that either.
That game didn't.
I may want to
me.
play Isolation after I see Alien Covenant.
Maybe
this month.
Yeah.
The game doesn't seem very fun. Just running away from an alien that you can't really do anything about.
I heard it was pretty good. It reviewed well, I think.
Reviewed well. The only critique that really that sticks out in my brain that I remember is that it kind of went on too long.
Okay.
That if they would have wrapped it up a little bit earlier, then it probably would have been better.
I see.
But you do get weapons at some point. I think you can have like a flamethrower to fend the alien off and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think you're running away. And there are like android enemies and stuff.
Right.
That you fight as well.
Those guys are just as scary as the alien to me.
Yeah. But,
spooky looking.
I think that game did fairly well. Critics wise, I don't know how well it's sold, but that'd be cool for a sequel, I guess.
Totally.
Depending on when it comes out, I give it a chance. I think the Alien Isolation came out in a time where I was way more interested in other things around it.
Nice.
But was there anything else we did this week? Or
I don't think so.
Don't think so? All right, you just want to talk about Prey for a little bit then?
Sure, let's do it. Tell us about Prey, Preston. You're the only one who's played it beyond the demo. Beyond
the demo, yes. Okay, so my first impressions from the demo, I'll kind of reiterate them, is that there's a little bit of input lag. That was probably the biggest turnoff for me, is that it had the same problem that Dishonored had before the multiple patches that went to it on PlayStation 4, with it just not feeling right. It, however, never had the issue of having a bad frame rate like Dishonored 2 initially had on PlayStation either. And I'm glad to see that the PC version of Prey is performing like way better than Dishonored ever did. They're using different engines though. The Void engine that Dishonored 2 was made on isn't being used here. I think they're using they're using another engine. It might be Crytek, maybe, I think.
I could have sworn I heard Crytek, but I haven't looked into it.
I'll look into it. I don't want to be wrong about that. But it's another engine, so that's probably why it's running better on PC. But coming off of the demo, the world interested me. The story was intriguing. Just what was going on with Talos 1, which is the spaceship you're on. It was just interesting, but the gameplay didn't really hook me that much. The demo just consisted of you just running around with a glue gun, gluing the same enemy or two and smacking them with a wrench. And it had just a little bit of exploration. Granted, it was a demo, so I wasn't going to really hold it to that. So I get the game. I start running around. And it feels way better. The day one patch that they put out on the PlayStation makes the input delay almost non-existent. It feels just like a regular first-person shooter.
Nice.
So I was very satisfied with that. So I get to the point where the first demo left off, and I still kind of have that feeling of, man, I hope this picks up. The shotgun that you get in the demo isn't even there in the full game, so I really only had the glue gun and the wrench for what seemed like 2 hours. Granted, I could have just walked past guns and not even seen them, but when I first got the pistol, it switched things up a bit, and it kept me going. That's essentially the gameplay of this game, is that you'll find stuff about every 30 minutes to an hour, whether it be like an upgrade or a new weapon, and it just makes the combat better and better and better and better. That's pretty much just all I can say about the game so far, is that if it feels like a trudge to you in the beginning, if the story and the environment, like just exploring Talos, intrigues you, just keep going, because the gameplay does get really cool. You'll eventually find a visor called starts with a P, the Paradoscope or something like that.
Is it the Preston visor?
Yes, the Preston visor.
Okay.
It's pretty much the thing that we've seen in a lot of the concept art, that like big eye. And you know how the logo has like those lines going everywhere?
Yeah.
That's essentially like what it is.
Okay.
And it starts opening this gameplay mechanic of scanning enemies. So you can scan mimics, you can scan phantoms, and you'll learn their weaknesses, but you'll also learn about their abilities. And the more you scan these enemies and learn their abilities, you're able to take them on. So to get probably the most well-known ability from what we've seen from previous demos is being able to do what a mimic can do, turn into an object that you look at. To actually get that ability, you have to scan these mimics and learn about that ability to take it on. So pretty much, as far as I can tell, any of the typhoons, I think that's what they're called. Sorry, I've only played for like 5 or 6 hours, so the names of everything is kind of hard for me to remember. But whatever they're called, I'm pretty sure every one of them you can start research. It's pretty much like taking a picture of them like you would in BioShock and learning their weaknesses and stuff. But not only do you learn their weaknesses, but like I said, you gain their abilities. So I'm pretty sure you can gain the abilities of pretty much every single enemy in the game. So far, I only have 2. I have the Mimic, and I have the ability to kind of shoot out like a force wave around me. And that's definitely handy when a lot of mimics are surrounding you. You can kind of just like push them all away. But the mimic ability is so cool. It's open. I'm going back to earlier areas and seeing places I couldn't initially access, and I can now. Like you can, if you break a window and there's like police bars around them, if there's like a little opening, you can turn yourself into I turned myself into a roll of bandages and just like rolled in this hole and then just popped out on the other side and was able to open the door. So
now, what was life like as a pair of bandages? What did it feel like, Preston?
As a pair of bandages,
or like a roll of bandages. How'd you feel?
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
you didn't feel a little claustrophobic or confined or anything?
Not for the short amount of time I was the bandages.
Okay, now I imagine that's the closest you could ever feel to feeling like a fruit roll-up or perhaps fruit by the foot. Yeah. If I could turn into anything, any sort of fruit snack, it'd probably be fruit by the foot.
Okay.
So I just wanted to clarify because I've always imagined what that would be like.
Who knows? There might be some fruit snacks in this game.
There could be, yeah. Let me know if you encounter any of those along your way, and that may, even though I'm broke right now, I may find a way to purchase Prey just so I can have that experience. Okay.
If I have found some fruit snacks at this point, I've eaten them because I'm eating everything. I don't even stash everything because my health is constantly low. This game is harder than I thought it would be.
Okay.
Even on normal difficulty, I was having to sneak past some enemies, and I ended up just dropping it to easy. And even still, it's not really easy. I actually feel like on easy, it feels like normal should be, in my opinion. You're not by no means on easy are you just running up to everything and shooting it and it's dying. Like, you still have to use your abilities. You still have to kind of somewhat sneak around these guys and stuff. So I feel like easy is, I wouldn't be ashamed to play on easy if you're, because typically that's how I am. When I turn on a game, I'm like, oh, I'm playing easy, I'm at least playing normal. But don't feel bad if you pick easy on this game.
Well, you talked about sneaking past enemies, and I recall having to do that in the demo a few times, but I didn't have abilities. Now, have you used the Mimic ability to sneak past something yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
I pretty much got the Mimic ability within the last hour of my playtime. And I believe I've played for about 5 or 6 hours.
Now, does this ability, is it when you can see something that you can turn into, do you have to like look at it to be able to turn into it?
So it's pretty much like a plasmid in BioShock. It's designated to the left trigger. So you hold it down and you will have like you'll be able to look at any object and that object will light up. And then you just let go of the trigger, and you don't actually
become it.
You
just kind of go into it.
No, you don't go into it. You just become that object where you stand. So it's not like you transport into the object.
Right.
If I'm looking at a coffee cup that's across the room, where I'm standing, I become the coffee cup.
Okay. So how did you manage to? You said you at one point you turned into the bandages and rolled to these bars. Did you just miraculously land on top of this thing where you can roll in?
I stood on top of the counter.
Okay.
Looked at the bandages. Then when I fell into the pair of bandages, I was on the counter already.
That's cool.
And rolled through.
Because I was going to say it'd be no different than like the possession ability in Dishonored if you went into it, but the fact that you physically become it is cool.
Yes. Yeah. Like you physically become it, just like the mimics do.
Right.
They don't actually go into it. They mimic what it is. So there's actually a trophy for mimicking the mimic.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I haven't done that yet. So if you know and once you get the visor as well, when you equip it, it will point out where a mimic is in the room. So you don't have to just go around smacking everything. But those have been the funnest fights so far, is just when you enter a room or go back to a room you've been in and there's like 3 chairs and you're just like, I thought there were 2 chairs.
Yeah.
And you just like walk up to it and you're like, which one of these could be it? And then you just like smack one and it's not in, and then the mimic like pops out of the other one and like scream. So that's pretty cool. All the other enemies I've faced so far, like there's just different versions of the phantoms. One like duplicates itself. One was like covered in fire. There was this enemy called the Weaver, and they weave these gold strands, and I have no idea what it does. A lot of the story, I have no clue what the hell's going on right now, and I think I'm not supposed to know. I mean, I'm not going to spoil it, but at the end of the demo, the message that you're giving yourself gets cut off.
Yeah.
I saw the rest of that message.
Now, does it happen in the full game at the same moment, or you find out later?
No, it's still, you find out later. You have to go like turn. Essentially, this game is like, I got to do this. Oh crap, I got to go turn the power on, or I got to go find this key. I got to blah, blah, blah. That's pretty much what every mission so far has been. So once I get the power back up and running for that video, go back to your office, you finish the video. He tells you pretty much what I think the entire point of the game is, like your objective of the entire game is.
Okay.
And you kind of go on your way. I'm getting side quests popping up. Like I went into a computer and I saw, you can see on certain computers where if members of like the crew of the ship are still alive. Like you'll see just a list of names and like deceased. Then there's one saying active. He's somewhere. You can just activate it and it'll activate a marker on your map, and a side quest will open, and it'll be like, go find this person. And I saw there's trophies like find every person and like save them, or find every person and kill them. Like, so just looking at the trophies, I think we talked about this last time, but you need a minimum of like 3 or 4 playthroughs. So as I've played it so far, just there's so many skills in the skill tree. It definitely calls for playing through multiple times and experimenting with all these things. Of course, my first playthrough, I'm probably just going to have a mixture between the human abilities and the alien abilities. And just like I kind of guessed last week, when you equip some of these alien abilities, January, the dude that kind of talks you through everything,
right?
He does make kind of like a suggestion, kind of like, hey, you might not want to do too many aliens because there might be some repercussions that you don't know about yet, besides the turrets identifying you as an alien and shooting at you. So I wonder if that has an effect on the ending, if I kill anybody, if they have an effect on an ending. I hope there's a little bit more human interaction. I've only talked with one human, and he was in jail, and this is very early on, so it's not really a spoiler, but he was like, hey man, there's an armory right here. I was overlooking a guy putting in a keypad. Like, I can give it to you if you let me go.
Interesting.
I'm like, okay. So I look into the computer and it says, would you like to see this guy's history?
Okay.
I was like, okay. And it said, he's done human trafficking. All of these awful things. And as I'm reading them, he's like, hey, you're not going through what I've done, right? And I'm just sitting there like, holy crap. Like, am I going to let this guy go? And he was like, all that's lies. Like, it's not real. Like, I'm a nice guy, blah, blah, blah. So you have the option to let him go, or there's an option to release a mimic in there with him, probably killing him. Well, I decided to let him go because I figured that he'll probably die anyways in this place, and I want the code because I had no guns at that point. I had no shotgun, so I just figured it would probably benefit my survival more if I helped him out. And I kind of expected him to turn on me, but he didn't. He was grateful. He was like, "Man, thanks so much. Like, I'm out of here." He started running. So
he gave you the code though.
Yeah, he gave me the code.
Now, was it beneficial? Did you get?
Yeah, I got a shotgun.
Nice.
Yeah, I found a shotgun in there. So
okay, well, now we see where your morals lie, Preston.
Yeah, I'm just saying, with all the crap going on in there, I figured he'd die anyway, so I might as well get a shotgun out of it.
Yeah.
But when I left, this was before I'd gotten my mimic ability. I saw as I was like leaving this area that I could have mimicked my way into this armory, and I didn't even need him in the first place. So that's what's cool, and that's what's very, like, it gives you that Dishonored feeling about this game, is if you see a room, there is not just one way to get into it. Based on your abilities, you can figure out a way to finagle your way pretty much into any room I've seen so far. So that's really cool. It really is. It's like that overused term, play your way. But, it really is that, like, what we've come to know from Arcane based on the first two Dishonored. So I guess just overall, I really want to go back to it. It really is getting better and better. And some of the early like previews and reviews I've read is that the game gets so good in its latter half. Just once you have all these crazy abilities, the stories just gets better and better. So the game really just like becomes alive like at the latter half. So far, like I've said, from what I've seen, it really is getting significantly better and better as I go.
And that's just around the table, right? You mean like story and gameplay?
Yeah, everything's becoming more interesting. You're getting more weapons. You're getting these bigger abilities. The world's opening up more. Like, I have so many paths to go. I'm kind of overwhelmed right now.
Okay.
Like, where the heck do I go? And it's not even in Talos 1. You can leave Talos 1 and go out into space, and like you have a propulsion system that you have to craft where you're like, boosting around everywhere. And there's
now, is it just to get around the space station, or can you literally just leave it and go somewhere?
I don't think you can. There's probably an invisible wall at some point, because I don't think you can, or you die. I don't think there's really a point to,
like, is there like a piece?
Is
there like a piece of the station that's broken off, kind of floating around it that you can like boost to or something? Is that the idea? Or is it just to go out and around to get somewhere
There's
else?
Hatches, I think. It might be some type of, it might be faster at some point to leave and go to a hatch that'll take you to another point of the ship. Because when I left initially, there were little HUD markers saying, they're like, oh, this is an entrance to this part of the ship, entrance to this part of the ship. I saw one guy that was shot, like in like a, not a cutscene, but I was just walking around at the beginning, and I saw one guy was just shot out into space. So I went and found him when I was out there, and I grabbed what was off of him and stuff. So there's like humans like floating out there that have died and stuff. So I've only been out there one time, so I'm sure at some point I'll fly out there again. But yeah, so far I'm intrigued by it. Like I stated last week, I'm probably not gonna go back to it full time. Like, if I do, it'll just be, I'm gonna dabble in it for an hour or two. I really don't want to lose myself to this game, because it would be very easy to do so. I even had in the back of my head during the 5 or 6 hours I was playing that I'm not going to come back to this. Like, don't get too attached. And I was like fighting off that feeling, because this game is definitely could be super easy to just.
It's because you want to finish Persona first, right?
Yeah, I do want to finish Persona first. I'm still like, that's all I want to play. But I'm very excited to jump back into Prey. So my overall, my first impressions are very positive, and I like it a whole bunch. And if you have nothing else to play, and you enjoyed BioShock or any of Arcane's other games, then yeah, this is definitely a buy. Don't even think about it.
Yeah, no, you've definitely piqued my interest. I mean, the most interesting encounters to me are stuff like in those, like what you mentioned when you encounter the guy who's in jail and you kind of have to choose, am I going to let him out or not? I love stuff like that in games, and that sounds really cool. And the mimic ability alone has always piqued my interest since the initial revelation of it when they first were showing it off. Yeah. So I'll no doubt pick it up. I don't know when. I still have so much Persona to play. But I'm not worried about beating it before anything else. It might be just something to go back and forth to for a while. I don't know when I'm going to pick up Prey either. Hopefully by the end of the month, we'll see. But no, that sounds awesome. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts. But before we continue, Jay Scriber's got a question for you, Preston. He says, what do you guys think is the most important thing to focus on at the beginning of Prey? Health, suit integrity, or ammo? Now, you mentioned it's sort of a play your way type situation. So would you say really it's just whatever you prefer?
I guess. I mean, you can. I don't know if you can increase your suit integrity. See, I'm still kind of a noob at it, but I haven't seen that. Granted, I haven't like really gone through the skill trees like hardcore looking at everything. I know you can do your health, which I've done that a few times. In terms of ammo, I mean, you just make your own ammo. So that is a cool gameplay mechanic. Is you get these like scrap items like baseball gloves and you put them into this materializer thing and it like breaks it down into these materials, and then you can go to another station that you just click on. If you have a blueprint of something, you just say you want to make it, you just insert the materials and it just crafts that. So that's how you craft your ammo and different weapons and stuff.
Yeah, I also really like that in the demo too. That was cool.
Oh, this is really cool. I was reading these emails about something called like a bowcaster, and I was like, bowcaster, like a crossbow? That sounds sick. So I got the plans and I made it, and it was a Nerf toy.
Interesting.
That shoots Nerf bolts out of a bowcaster, and I was like, what in the world is this for? So I was running around with this thing. It does no damage to enemies.
Yeah.
But it works on computer screens.
What do you mean?
You can shoot it at like a computer screen, like a touch screen, and it'll activate it. So I was like, what's the point of that? Well, I haven't done it yet, but I have a feeling it could become useful if you're
like pushing buttons or something.
If you're outside of a room and you want to like touch a computer thing, you could like shoot this Nerf bolt across the room and like hit the computer and like activate it. And
that's awesome.
Open the door.
That's totally probably what it is.
Yeah, probably. I haven't done it yet, but that's the only thing I could think of for this particular gun. I mean, it's got to be in the game for some reason,
right?
I mean, because it's useless against enemies. But there, I don't know. That's a hard question. I would, I guess, do health, but I'd also probably invest in repairing and hacking as well. Repairing has saved my butt a few times because I'll repair the turrets up, and I'll just, if I know there's like a phantom or something in a room, I'll carry these turrets with me and like put them at the entrance of the room and lure the phantoms in and have the turrets help me take it down.
That's cool. Now, I noticed that inventory management plays a role in this game. Is there a way to store, let's say you have multiple weapons, do you have like a locker or something to store stuff in if you don't need it?
Not that I've seen yet. You can expand your inventory, which I've done once, and there's a decent amount of room so far. If I ever run out of room, I just have to make a quick run to one of those stations to deposit all of my junk and get rid of it, and then I have tons of room again. So I haven't seen a locker so far. There might be one, though. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's... like I said, I haven't played it enough to really give you a concrete answer. I would just go through the skill tree and find whatever suits your playstyle more. If you're more into hacking or repairing or moving objects too.
Yeah, that's the direction I was leaning into when I was playing the demos. Like I figured I'd want to repair and stuff more often than not, because it seems like there's a ton of stuff you can just fix that'll help you out in combat and everything, especially based on the difficulty. So
yeah, there are these really annoying arcs, these like panels that constantly shoot out electricity, and you can shoot your glue gun at it
and it'll stop it
for a certain amount of time. But you can repair it and it'll just stop shooting arcs out. So it's kind of just like would you rather keep shooting glue at this particular box every time you pass by, or do you just want to waste these spare parts and just don't worry about it? So that's the only annoying thing, because repairing that arc really doesn't give you anything.
It's just kind of like a convenience.
It's just a convenience. Yeah. And it cost a decent amount of spare parts too.
That's frustrating.
So yeah, it's kind of annoying because I have to keep shooting this particular box.
Maybe there'll be a more significant encounter you'll have that requires you to repair that will benefit you more than just, you don't have to glue it anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. I just don't know what that does.
Okay.
There's been like a few areas where I have to, there is one where I actually had to repair it. So I guess this is probably it. I had to get to a computer terminal to read an email, and the arcs were going like crazy. And when I shot it with the glue, there wasn't enough time for me to like really read the email. So I had to go turn off the power for the entire room, fix it, turn back the power, and then go to the computer. So maybe it's just kind of like, hey, you can't get to this area and comfortably look around without repairing this. But it doesn't really, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as satisfying as like repairing a turret or repairing a machine, that actually benefits you. I know that's like a super dumb small thing, but it's the only thing so far in the game I found that if you invest in the skill tree and use that skill to do something, that one just doesn't feel really satisfying. But everything else is like being able to lift up heavy objects. You can actually use it in combat. Like I'm at level 1 of throwing, and you can like freaking hurl like garbage cans, like a sonic boom goes behind them. So you can use those as weapons, and the more you upgrade that, I mean, like there are some doors covered by like giant couches that you need strength to move, and I'm sure that'll like turn into a shortcut. But that is what's cool. Besides that, the arc thing I was telling you about, pretty much every skill you invest in, there is like a positive outcome of that. There are like ways to get around that benefit, what you've invested into. Mm-hmm. So
well, I guess the moral of the story is, Preston, you'd probably make a rather competent space mechanic, I guess. Would you ever need to go to space?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess a better way to say what I was saying is that no matter what you put your skill points into, I haven't felt like, oh man, I should have done it in that. It's still benefiting me no matter what I do. So that's kind of a better way of what I was trying to just say.
All right, cool.
But yeah.
That all sounds great. I appreciate you sharing.
It's pretty fun.
Absolutely. We want to bring us in, Preston?
Sure, man. This is episode 101 of the It's Obvious Gaming podcast, the show where my two best friends and I get together every single week to discuss video games, obviously. You can find all of our content, including the video version of this podcast, over at youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming. If YouTube's not good for you, or you'd like to take us on the go, you can find this podcast weekly on Audio Boom, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, and other podcasting services. Please check the description down below for links to our social media pages, our Discord channel, PlayStation community, and other means to connect with us. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel down below and like and comment to get involved with the It's Obvious community. Doing so would help us out a ton, and we would forever be in your debt. With all that out of the way, hey man, what's the news? Garrett, I was so distracted by your handsomeness that I messed up, so I'm sorry.
I typically am distracted by Jacob's handsomeness, so it's good to see the tables turn a bit there. I guess we kind of make a formation here. You're distracted by me. I'm distracted by Jacob. And Jacob, I assume you're distracted by Preston. Is that how that works?
We're distracted by my hand
we're
right
assuming.
now.
Oh, are you okay over there?
Yeah.
Is it a callus?
Yeah. Well,
nice.
Yeah.
So I'm distracting
Dumbbells?
nobody.
Yeah.
I figured, Jacob.
Yeah.
Those are
Back
man's
day
hands
tears
you
up
got
your
there.
hands.
It does, yeah. Certainly.
So I'm distracting nobody. So that's good.
Yeah. Maybe you're distracting one of the
You're
viewers.
distracting me by all your praise.
That
talk.
really helps my self-esteem.
That's great. Well, guys, I imagine by now everyone's heard about the Zelda DLC that has officially been announced. We knew it was coming, but the Master Trials is the first DLC coming this summer. Not an official release date, but this summer nonetheless. I already said it's called the Master Trials. It's available only through the Season Pass for $19.99, which is maybe unfortunate to some people, but I plan on playing all the DLC anyway, so I'll inevitably pick up the Season Pass to jump in on these trials. We got the Trial of the Sword hard mode and the Hero's Path mode. How do you guys feel about all this?
Wow.
Fine. It's not the DLC I'm waiting for.
Which one are you waiting for?
I want that story DLC.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in the Master Sword trial and the hard mode also. So I'll probably play through those.
Okay, yeah. I think Trial of the Sword sounds cool. It just says players move through 45 rooms battling enemies, and you begin with no weapons or armor, but completing the trial ensures that the Master Sword will always remain in its glowing, powered-up state.
That's awesome.
That is super cool, because I love when that thing's glowing. Speaking of which, I am on the final Divine Beast, the big old camel near Gerudo Town.
Yeah.
And I have one more terminal to shut off, and then I got to fight the boss.
Excellent. What did you think about just the journey to the camel?
It was cool. Yeah, riding the sand seal. Yeah, it was cool.
I like just how you had to get into Gerudo.
Yeah, that was fun. It's weird to me because I feel like the Zora's Domain Divine Beast took the most work to get to that Divine Beast.
Okay.
Because when you get to Zora's Domain, you have to fight all the way through that mountain range to get all the way to the city, and I felt like that took forever. Maybe it's just because I just started the game.
Yeah.
But I felt like that took a lifetime. Then I felt like there was other things. I had to go kill that dude up top.
You don't have to kill him.
You didn't?
No.
Okay, because I don't remember. Maybe I was still figuring out the game at that time, but I feel like I had to do 100 things before I fought that Divine Beast. And all the other ones, it's like I show up, they're like, there's the Divine Beast, go get him. And I just like run over and do it.
Yeah.
So
I feel like the Goron one, or Death Mountain one, took a little bit. You had to follow that.
Yeah, that one too, because you have to shoot him with the Goron guy and everything. But this one I felt like was the least amount of work to get to, the camel.
Okay.
I don't know why.
The bird one took the least amount of time, in my opinion.
I did like having to go. I guess it wasn't necessarily a rescue mission, but you go get the helm back. You have to sneak your way through that fortress.
Yeah. See, that took a while. That's
that
something
was cool.
you had to do.
Maybe it's just because I play the game twice a week for an hour, so I literally play 2 hours a week. So that's why maybe it feels like I don't do much. But that was fun getting to fight that boss at the end. It was a creative little fight, and then I've made my way through the Divine Beast. And it's kind of sad. The final one, I'll get that final ability, and now all I have left is those shrines.
Yeah.
So, and then whatever side quests I wish to do. But I want to get that finals, what's it called? Outfit of the Wild or something?
Yeah, Tunic of the Wild.
And I'll go take care of Ganon. So, it's been an amazing journey so far. Still got plenty left ahead of me. I think I only have 56 shrines.
Using that Pro Controller?
No, I've not used it yet. Yeah, every time I'm at my house, I'm having to nick away at Persona. So,
gotcha.
Yeah. I should use that Pro Controller soon, though.
That's great.
Maybe I'll just ditch Persona for a while and finish Zelda. It's been a long time coming with Zelda.
Okay. I mean, you're almost at the end. You might as well.
Yeah, might as well just go balls deep on that.
You should do what you want to do.
I kind of want to do Zelda, because every time I play it, it's hard to put down.
Yeah.
Whereas Persona, I'm like not too reluctant to put it down every time I play it. Not that I'm bored. I'm just like, after I play a while, I'm like, okay, I can take a break. But Zelda, that's a different story. I could play that for hours on end.
Or you could start your second playthrough of Final Fantasy 15.
No, I've considered that as well. I've considered starting a second playthrough and documenting how much I hate it on video.
Okay, Garrett.
And then posting it online for the world to see.
Do it.
That's how pessimistic I am about Final Fantasy 15.
All right.
Not really, though. I hope no one actually takes that seriously, because I'd hate to die tomorrow and everyone be like, that's that douchebag that said he hated Final Fantasy.
Okay.
That'll be on your tombstone.
Right, but hard mode, it says there will be stronger enemies that can regain health in battle. They'll easily notice Link more often. There's more plinks throughout Hyrule, enabling players to battle more and collect more treasure. That's cool, I guess. I was kind of hoping for a little more to it, to where, like you said, maybe you have to eat more often, but I guess eating really is only for health. But it'd be interesting if over time, if you got hungry, your hearts would slowly deplete, kind of like if you're in a cold area and your health depletes. Like a survival mode. Right, that'd be interesting, because it really makes sense, because the Breath of the Wild, they really push that you're in the wild aspect. It'd be kind of interesting. But no, that's kind of cool, too, for people that want to play through it again. It does feel like more of a challenge and a new fresh experience. And then Heroes Path mode enables players to track their progress over the last 200 hours and beyond. You can see green steps all over the map, and it says the travel medallion has also been located in the new chest. And lastly, a few little equipment items. There's a Korok mask. Then when you wear it, it looks like those leaf masks the Koroks wear, and it'll vibrate if you're near Korok seeds. Helps you discover them more, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Not that I'm like dying to find all of them, but if you throw it on, it'll help you find them. That's cool. And several items from previous games. I think Majora's Mask, a couple of the other ones that are noteworthy.
Yeah, the Phantom Armor, the Tingle's outfit.
Tingle.
Yeah.
So, bunch of cool little stuff. I'm like you said, I'm most interested in Trial of the Sword. I think that's awesome. I'll totally try to get through that. That sounds great. Yeah. But we'll see how challenging it is. Maybe we'll do, I imagine we'll do a video or two of the DLC.
Okay. I pre-ordered from GameStop the new Twilight Princess amiibo.
Okay.
And then I pre-ordered from Best Buy the Majora's Mask amiibo. Now, I'm pretty sure the Skyward Sword amiibo hasn't gone up for sale yet. Hopefully that's the case, because if it's been up for sale for a while, I probably won't get a pre-order. But I'm waiting for that to get up there so I can get all three of the new amiibos. And I think you get the Fierce Deities armor with the Majora's Mask amiibo, which excites me.
That does sound cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, how's all this sound to you, Jake? I mean, you don't have a Switch yet, but does it excite you for when you do have one?
What, this DLC?
Yeah.
Not really. I just want to play the regular game.
I'm just a hater.
Okay. You don't want that glowing sword at all times?
What's the point? Does it never break?
Well, one, it never breaks, and it'll be always powerful, so you can use it in all situations.
So you won't... Well, I think it might break still. Maybe.
Has it ever broken for you?
When it was glowing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has?
Yeah.
Wow.
When I was going through Hyrule Castle, I was fighting one of the multiple Lionels in Hyrule Castle, and it broke on me.
Dang. Yeah. How'd you get it repaired?
After a couple of 10 minutes or something, it just automatically comes back.
Interesting. Okay, so it repairs itself.
Yeah. Have you never broken your Master Sword?
No, I've not.
Oh, yeah. It just comes back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like a cooldown, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, it sounds great to me. I'm very excited for the summer to jump into it. But first, I got to get through the main game. So, like we said, I think you guys. I needed your support to say it was okay for me to finish Zelda instead of finishing Persona first.
Yeah. Put it on your TV. Enjoy that last bit of Zelda with the Pro Controller.
No, I absolutely will, Preston. Yeah. Thank you for the support.
No problem.
Moving on, guys, we have Darksiders 3's trailer and gameplay reveal. Now, Preston, you have the most experience with Darksiders. I've played all the way through the first one, but I never played the second one.
You beat the first Darksiders?
I did, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
No, I beat the first one. I thought it was awesome, but I never played the second one. And the reason why I played the first one is because the box art was so cool. I was like, I have to play that.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd you play it on, 360?
I must have. But I distinctly remember playing through the entire thing. You played War in the first game, right? And then Death is the second one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Fury's the third one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know you beat it.
No, yeah, I did. But I didn't get any, like, all the achievements or anything. I just remember beating it.
I didn't either.
I don't even remember much from it other than hacking and slashing a million things throughout the entire game. So, but I always loved the art style of those games, too. But how do you feel about the trailer for Darksiders 3 before we jump into gameplay?
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I just remember the trailer saying, it says, the 7 deadly sins have escaped in the ravaging earth. They must be stopped. Sounds epic. Yeah. The 7 deadly sins. Those bastards.
I hate to be like that guy, but I think the design of Fury, especially her face, is not good.
You don't like it?
It looks really... I don't want to say it because it's like, I don't want to be mean.
Just say it.
It looks cheap.
Okay.
Her face just looks like really cheaply done.
Now, is it the art style, or is it just looks like they didn't put a lot of effort into it?
I don't know, because like Death and War, that's the thing is like, I didn't think War really looked that cool, in my opinion. Death looked really cool.
Yeah.
Fury's face just looks kind of weird to me. I don't know.
Okay.
And then the alpha gameplay we saw, it's pre-alpha, so whatever. It just looked okay, I guess.
Yeah, it didn't look at all exciting to me, I'll be totally honest.
Who's asking for this?
I have no idea. I was wondering the same thing, which is funny because I don't know if it's because...
Nobody talks about Darksiders.
Because it says IGN first on the trailer, and it has over 1 million views, so I'm assuming they were the first ones to debut the trailer.
Yeah.
So, obviously, because of all those views, I'm like, holy crap, seems like a lot of people are excited, but that's the only place to see the trailer before everyone else had it, then no wonder it has a lot of views. But there's a lot of critiques in the alpha gameplay I saw in the comments. Now, I have not kept up with the series. I can't even remember much for the first one, but everyone's making critiques that, based on what I saw, make a lot of sense. But, yeah, a few people, like you said, don't really like the design of the character. A lot of people said the whip isn't exciting enough. Not even just from a gameplay standpoint.
There's probably going to be other, but if they're kind of evolving off of Darksiders 2, you could equip multiple
weapons, right?
Or upgraded versions of the weapons and stuff. I don't know if everything's a whip, then I guess that... I'm assuming everything is probably going to be a whip, just like everything was a scythe in the second one. And you only had a sword in the first one. You couldn't even change that. I mean, you could have a scythe as like one of your side weapons, but your main weapon was that sword. So I'm assuming her main weapon is going to be a whip. And the critiques I saw is that it looked like it just didn't have enough impact. But like I said, it's pre-alpha, so that wasn't really... I'm assuming it's going to play fine and be fine. I can't imagine them completely taking away everything that made Darksiders 1 or 2 and the evolution they made from 1 to 2 and just completely dialing it back in the third one. Like, that wouldn't make sense to me. I mean, they had to have learned even more, because I'm pretty sure... Actually, I'm not pretty sure. I know it's the same people that made those. So I think all the concerns and stuff will be addressed in the newer versions or in the newer showings of the game. I think it probably was just a little bit too early to show this, because it did just look really early and rough.
Just fought a few crabs and that was about it.
Yeah, pretty much it. So. But I mean, it's if you're super pumped for Darksiders 3, then it's exciting just to see something.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't even say I'm a fan of Darksiders. It's just like, I liked the first one, and I have the second one and played about halfway through it until something else come out. That's good English. Until something else came out. So, I'm just very like lukewarm on it, and the initial trailer and gameplay isn't making me excited, really.
Right.
So,
you check any of it out, Jacob?
I mean, I saw the trailer. I've never played any of the other two games.
Okay.
But, I mean, it looks fine.
You see any gameplay?
Yes, well, I saw, what they showed, just the minimal amount we got, but, I guess it just depends what's out at the time. When I'm playing. If that will determine whether I pick it up or not.
The first two are fun. They really are fun. Like it's close to like a 3D Zelda game as you're gonna find on anything besides a Nintendo console, especially like on PlayStation or Xbox. So that's why I liked. Yeah. That's pretty much why I like them so much. Is God of War combat with kind of a Zelda-like dungeon structure. So
for sure. I guess we'll see coming 2018.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, that brings us to our newest segment we're trying out for little tiny stories that we don't have much to say about, but they're noteworthy. Now, we haven't figured out a name yet. We were joking around with News Nugs. Kind of a spinoff of Herman Cain's, what do you call it, News Nuggets?
Yeah, some talk radio
How do you say it? News Nuggets.
News Nuggets.
Yeah, some News Nugs. We don't have an official name yet. It's sort of like a lightning round, just a little mini stories. Yeah. But the first one comes courtesy of nerdmuch.com, boys. It says, according to a Reddit user who works at a printing company, the next Assassin's Creed will be titled Assassin's Creed Origins. A character seen carrying a shield, bow, and what happens to be a hawk on his or her shoulder. I can't remember if it was a dude in the picture? Okay. Yeah, it was a dude. On his shoulder, and it includes new... that's a different thing. It says there was a city and pyramid in the background as well. Yeah. So now we've heard the Egypt rumors for a while now. But I'm hoping this is real. It looks super cool.
Yeah, it has to be real.
Yeah.
At least the setting. The setting has to be real.
What if it's co-op and one person's the assassin, one person's the hawk?
Dude, you're on to something there. Now that is gameplay I'm dying to experience.
The hawks in VR.
Yeah, either the hawks in VR or the hawk is just a mobile app that you use from your phone.
Yeah.
Now, if you're playing Assassin's Creed, you ever want to play co-op, you don't have two controls, or your friend can hop on the Assassin's Creed Origins app and play as the hawk.
Dude, there you go.
There you go.
Now that is exactly what we've needed with Assassin's Creed as we move forward.
That's what we've needed.
Now, what do you think? Now, the hawk has to be some sort of gameplay mechanic. Let's say it's real. Do you think it'd be a situation kind of like Far Cry Primal where you send them out to scan people or something?
That would make sense. Yeah. You could use him in combat.
Right.
Grab him by his feet, like sling him around.
This probably just gives you like an overhead view of things. That's probably it.
That, or maybe in combat he's flying around and can like nip at guys to distract them. Maybe in stealth you can fly him out and he'll like distract someone. You can sneak up on him. And
that seems like it would make more sense. Kind of like flying up high, seeing enemies in the area. Maybe distractions. You could send him over somewhere and he'll caw or bark, whatever they
caw.
And
that's probably more accurate to a hawk, a caw versus a bark.
Yeah.
Now I've heard hawks meow from time to time. And very rarely, maybe in ancient times, they would moo like a cow.
Okay.
But nowadays it's the caw. Well, granted, this is back in Egyptian times, so it might be the moo.
There were no sound recording. There was no sound recording technology back then.
Who knows?
Who knows what noise?
It's all based on hieroglyphs we've collected over the years.
It's all speculation.
Specifically from that time period in Egypt. Now, let's say the title Origins is correct.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a generic title, I think. But let's say it's literally Origins. Do you think we're talking about the beginning of the Creed here?
I guess.
I would assume so.
I would assume so, too.
Either that or like, we're going back to the origins of Assassin's Creed, making it all fresh again.
That would make sense for this
soft reboot
that we're speculating it to be.
Yeah.
That it would go just back to the very beginning.
What if this assassin is the very first assassin who builds the Creed, like the first one who starts it?
That'd be
kind of interesting.
That would be cool.
You know, I've always thought in Egyptian times it'd be awesome because, you know, in most of these Assassin's Creed games, if not all, if I'm not mistaken, you encounter some historical figure that's real, that has a fictional story based around them. It'd be cool if you encountered Moses or someone in Egyptian times.
Some concept art I saw. It makes sense with Moses in terms of parting the Red Sea, like he had the apple.
Right.
Like it writes itself.
Because I was talking to a buddy from school about this. What I think would be so cool is either you, what if you played as a slave under the Egyptians and you team up with Moses and like, you know, in the Bible when Moses kills that Egyptian guy who's like harassing one of the slaves, like what if Moses helps you start the original Assassin's Creed or something?
That'd be cool.
Like the story around Moses when they're going to the Promised Land is them like doing something with the Assassin's Creed.
That'd be cool.
I mean, I think it'd be kind of interesting to include Moses somehow because that'd be kind of cool. But you're like a slave and you become an assassin. It'd be kind of cool. I don't know.
Cool.
Maybe you assassinate Pharaoh.
Maybe Moses is the assassin.
I know. I was thinking that'd be kind of cool too. We'll see. But I would not be at all opposed to that.
No.
But let's talk about he has a shield on his back, if I remember correctly. I assume that's just is what we'd expect it to be in sword combat. Like, you can parry with a shield or block with the shield. I don't know. If I had to ask for two things from the next Assassin's Creed, it would be stronger stealth. And by stronger, I mean just really more in depth and more fluid as well. It always felt clunky trying to be stealthy in Assassin's Creed for the most part. and more fluid combat for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that my favorite combat of all of them was Assassin's Creed 3. I thought that's where it was the best. And Assassin's Creed 4 is pretty good too. And I felt
Assassin's Creed 3 allowed you to do more group finishers than like any other Assassin's Creed.
Right, and that's what I enjoyed. But
it was just cooler looking.
Yeah, still to this day though, not that they have to copy this, but to this day, and we've said this verbatim, or I think verbatim's the word I'm looking for, but just Shadow of Mordor, the combat is just so fluid and buttery smooth, and it feels incredible every time you do it. So I'd love it to feel that good.
That's the thing is, like, I really liked how in Syndicate, if you weren't appropriately leveled against enemies, they could rock you. But if you were good at stealth, you could take them all out.
I like that level of intensity as well. I like to feel if I'm in danger, if I'm surrounded by
exactly. Like, I want you, if you're fighting like 3 or 4 guys, yeah, you can take them out, like, and it's cool. But I hate that feeling of just invincibility in Assassin's Creed. How you could have like 80 guys around you.
Like the first game, I would intentionally run around the city, collect like 15 dudes, and just take turns killing them.
Especially in Assassin's Creed 3. Holy crap, you were on that in Black Flag as well. Like, you are unstoppable in those games. Like, nobody can touch you. So, yeah, I want there to be a purpose for stealth.
I agree. Yeah, I want to feel like if I'm not stealthy here, then I am dead.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That'd be cool.
That's exciting. I look forward to hopefully seeing something at E3. I'm assuming we will.
What about you, Jacob? Anything else to add to that?
Not really. I'm excited for the next one.
Yeah.
After a year without it, I'm ready to be back. Yeah. Actually, 2 years. I didn't play Syndicate. So.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think we're guaranteed to see a little something.
Going back and platinum that and Unity for some.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Congratulations.
Don't know why I did
Thanks.
it.
But, we're all proud of here at It's Obvious Gaming, Preston.
Thank you.
We have more rumors concerning the the supposed Overwatch anniversary event. This also comes from a Reddit user who goes by the name Failcraft. He dug up details within the PTR concerning references to quote-unquote Event 6. Apparently it includes new cosmetic items, map updates, and possibly new maps entirely for the big anniversary day this month. I think that's May 17th?
I don't remember.
16th?
It's this month, though.
I think it's halfway through this month sometime. I can't remember the exact Overwatch date. That's exciting. I'm hoping for an anniversary event. I think it'd be pretty cool.
If this was true, it'd be really cool.
Absolutely.
Be a good way to celebrate, a year.
I agree. How do you feel about Overwatch, Preston?
I love it. It's my favorite.
Yeah, I figured. You kind of have similar feelings towards Overwatch that I do towards Final Fantasy.
No, I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
Yeah, well, see, my Final Fantasy negativity is all based on a character I've created about the guy who does not like it at all, when in reality I do like Final Fantasy. I just didn't like it enough to play it through twice. So
I didn't play it through twice.
Yeah, or at least go for the platinum, I should say. But yeah. Okay. Next one's about God of War. I'm hoping this rumor's true. This would be rad.
This would be rad.
A Portuguese retailer called Gaming Replay has recently changed the release date for their God of War pre-order, posting to September 14th of this year. September 14th. That'd be an amazing early fall release for God of War. Definitely unexpected, too. If I was expecting anything, I was expecting, if we were lucky, holiday this year, if not later on in 2018.
I really don't want that to be a thing.
What?
This date, because I want to play Destiny 2 without any interruptions.
September 14th is a Thursday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, this is a Europe date, though.
Yeah, but typically worldwide releases are on Friday.
Typically. Okay, because I know there's occasions where it'll be like US this date, and then like a few days later it'll be in Europe or vice versa.
Yeah. I mean, granted, Thursday could be a common release date for... Where's this coming out of?
Portugal.
Portugal? Mm-hmm. Maybe it is. Typically, games that are released worldwide, though, are on Friday, or in America, it's Tuesday.
All right. No, I'd love that.
I could be completely wrong, but let's just completely say, "Oh, I'm wrong." I still don't believe that. It's not coming out this September.
I would be amazed if it came out this September.
Yeah, I could be dead wrong, but if I were a betting man, I would absolutely not put my money on this.
Okay, now you pulling a Spider-Man thing, or you wanted it like last year at E3? You were convinced that we would not see an exclusive Spider-Man at PlayStation. Then we saw the trailer, but in your heart, you kind of knew we would.
Yeah,
that was correct, right?
Yeah.
You kind of knew we would see something.
Yeah, that was something I didn't want to get my hopes up, because that would have been too. I didn't want to. If that wasn't going to happen, that would have taken a lot on me. Just accepting the fact that wasn't going to happen. So,
but you're 100% convinced we're not going to see it this year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I like to think that as well. I mean, whenever I read rumors like this, not even a thought goes towards, oh, that's totally true, until it's like almost definitive.
Yeah.
So it's just no point, because the games are delayed so much. Because I heard a rumor earlier this week that it was going to be delayed, and then this pops up.
Yeah.
I like to reiterate the good news or the possible
poor
good news.
guy could have accidentally just like typing did
He
this.
might have meant 2018. But
yeah, now it's like set the world on fire. He's like, oh crap,
Right.
sorry.
I don't know. We'll see. But that'll do it for our what do we call them? News nugs?
Yeah, sure.
I don't want to stick with
what
that
you're
title.
calling them.
We'll think of something better. But that was sort of our little test of the lightning round. Tiny little stories, exciting from the week. Boys, that brings us to community questions. There was not a whole lot of news this week, unfortunately. But I hope you guys are ready for this. We have some good ones this week. We greatly appreciate all of you who sent us community questions. That being said, Ask IOG Episode 2 is live on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming. To all of you who are exclusive to Spotify, iTunes,
Yeah,
Audio
Garrett, how
Boom.
do we get it on there?
How?
Yeah.
What do you mean how?
Like, I want this on Spotify and iTunes.
Yes, yeah.
What do we do?
In order to get Ask IOG to all of our podcasting services like this podcast you're listening to now, all we have to do is make it weekly. Now, we could put it out whenever we'd like to, but I think in order to be on podcasting services, you have to put out stuff at a certain amount in order for it to be worth it or something, I guess. And it's kind of an extensive process that when we say, hey, we want to put this new show on these services, it takes a bit for it to get going. So in order to make that a reality, we have to receive enough questions to make it a weekly show. Now, as we've said many times on this podcast and on both Ask IOG episodes, in order to get to that point, we have to receive enough questions to do it every week. Mm-hmm. And right now we're receiving enough to do once a month, but miraculously, we recently received enough to do 2 episodes this month. So the episode 2 aired this past week. On Friday, I believe. I know you can check it out at youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming. And episode 3 will come out the following Friday, this coming Friday. So we'll have 2 this month, and we'd love, like I said, our goal is to make it weekly so we can get it to podcasting services. And that's all up to you guys, because the show is literally crafted by your questions alone, and that gets us really excited because it brings just additional conversation, and it's designed to be more random. Now, you can submit as many gaming questions as you want, and we try to keep this podcast now almost exclusive to gaming questions and kind of make Ask IOG become its own random smorgasbord of questions. Anything you think of, you send it our way. I think on the previous episode we talked about how to situate your toilet paper on the stand, and what else we talk about? High school stories.
How to wipe your ass correctly.
Exactly, and we found out some really weird details regarding Jacob's wiping technique, and I think it'll really pique your interest. So if you have time, we encourage you guys to hop on over to YouTube and check out Ask IOG Episode 2 and leave your thoughts, and we'd love to receive more questions to make it more of a...
If we make it more regular as well, we'll probably be able to get a intro and stuff.
Absolutely. It'll definitely take on a life of its own as time progresses, and that's all up to you guys, and we appreciate the help thus far. That being said, community questions, if you want your questions read on this show or Ask IOG, all you have to do is either email us at obvious_gaming. That's our Twitter, sorry. Tweet at us, obvious_gaming, or you can email us at itsobviousgaming@gmail.com, or submit your questions in the Ask IOG section of our Discord channel. Now, all of that information is found in all of the descriptions of every single one of our videos, and that's where you can reach us. And always include the hashtag AskIOG if you want your questions read on the show, or if you just want to talk, just send us questions or emails anytime. We'd be happy to talk to you guys. We appreciate it. But that being said, question number 1 comes from Sam Harris. Got to catch my breath. Sorry, boys. Oh boy, he says, hello, gentlemen. Gaming has become more of a mainstream form of entertainment and is even featured in pop culture and TV, but I still feel like there are chastisers of the medium. Do you think the stigma of gaming pertaining to being a waste of time and juvenile has subsided, or do you think it still exists? Love to hear your thoughts.
No, it still exists.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's quite as prevalent as it used to be, but it definitely still exists.
It still exists. I think it's going to eventually be gone because, our age of people, the people growing up, the people that are going to be having kids and raising children, like our generation, we grew up with video games, so it's just going to be common. Mm-hmm. So typically our grandparents and teachers and people in political office and stuff, they really didn't grow up with games being really prevalent, so they don't really know what to make of it and stuff. So with us being the next generation to like really take on everything, we've grown up with video games, so it's going to be way more accepted. So
no, I'd agree. It's rare nowadays that I mention to anyone that I play video games and they're like, oh, that's weird, especially where I go to school. No one thinks that's weird. But there's been times in the past, even in recent years, where I'll mention like, oh yeah, I play a lot of video games. They're like, why? Or they'll be like, oh, cool, I guess. So yeah. But I haven't ever had anyone in my life be like, oh, you're a loser, or you're a nerd if you play video games. But they definitely still exist. They're definitely out there.
Yeah. I remember back in middle school, elementary school, just not wanting to tell people I played a lot of games because of the whole like, oh, you're a nerd thing.
Yeah.
But like it's like once you got into high school, everybody played video games.
Right.
Like nobody's a nerd.
Especially when Call of Duty came around. I feel like that's really when it changed.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm sure there's always going to be some form of people out there that'll criticize you for playing games, and then they'll go watch TV for 8 hours.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, that's what I've always said, is that when anyone criticizes the fact that you play a lot of video games, I ask like, well, what do you do for a hobby? Oh, I go fishing, or I ride dirt bikes. I'm like, well, that's what you do, and I play video games. So it's just our different hobbies, I guess. Yeah. That's the way I look at it, at least. The next one comes from Abraham Harn. He says, what activity/game could you, which activity, it's like, I don't know whether to hold it. Maybe I need glasses, because when I hold it closer, I can barely read it. But if I hold it right in the middle, I can read it. But if it's too far, I also can't read it. Is that a sign that I need glasses, you think?
I would say so, yes.
Yes. I should probably go get my eyes tested.
If you can't see something, probably.
It isn't like I'm blind to it, but I really have to.
There's different forms of,
I really have to squint.
Sight.
Yeah.
Like some people can't see things far away. Some people can't see things close.
I believe it's reversed. If you can't see something up close, then you're farsighted. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I should probably get my eyes checked. This is what activity/game could or have in the past tested your friendships, be it board games, video games, sports, or even having interest in the same girl?
Oh, test our friendship. Have we ever gotten just like wanting to rip each other's face off?
No, we've definitely gotten frustrated before. I think the most frustrated I've ever seen you get is when we were playing Mortal Kombat 10.
Yeah. I didn't get mad at you, though. I just got mad.
At just the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember we actually have a Let's Play of you freaking out on camera playing Mortal Kombat X or 10.
Is that when you threw the controller?
I think that was Injustice. I did that.
Yeah.
It might have been both, because I remember distinctly I was fighting as, what's that guy with the robotic face in Mortal Kombat? Kane or something?
Yeah.
And I remember I was fighting you as someone, and you were quite upset, and you left the room temporarily.
Oh, I did.
But when we proceeded to finish afterwards.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if I get mad at somebody.
Yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game situation.
Yeah.
So, I remember, I think we've told this story, so I won't reiterate it too much, but the time when you and I had the crush on the same girl in elementary school, I think it was 4th or 5th grade, and you and I said that, we'll play this hockey game on GameCube, some NHL game, and whoever wins gets to be her boyfriend. Okay. And we were convinced that, like, whoever won, that's it, you get to be her boyfriend, and you slaughtered me. Yeah. And I was very silently upset about that. Because I was convinced, I was like, wow, I could have been this girl's boyfriend, but now Preston's going to because he beat me.
We should do that now with Mario Kart.
We should. Yeah. We should, yeah. We'll get to fight out whoever gets to take Jacob out on the next date.
Yeah. Neither of you.
Deal.
You both suck.
What?
I wouldn't date either of you if you were the last two people on Earth.
Even if I won?
No.
Jacob, you
don't deserve me. Sorry, my
You don't have to be mean about it, Jacob. Come on.
I think you deserve the best Mario Kart player, which is me.
Well,
who are you to say what I deserve?
Until friends from the community might dethrone you.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think Sam Harris claims to be quite talented.
With Jacob's heart on the line, I'll
dethrone you one day once I get Mario Kart.
We'll see about that, Jacob. Mm-hmm. I play an extensive amount of Mario Kart every time I take a dump. I have hours of practice ahead of you.
Man. Yeah, I should start doing that. Yeah, my dumps are so brief though. I don't really have time.
You can get through a dude, in like less than 10 minutes.
Okay, I don't even spend that much time in the toilet. What? Thankfully, I'm blessed with stuff just falling right out of me. I'm like, I get
preoccupied. I'm done with the poop in like 2 minutes.
I watch lots of videos while I'm taking a poo.
Yeah, if my legs don't go numb, I didn't do it right.
Now, I would intentionally stay in the toilet longer when I was doing specific jobs. Like, I was taking a dump. I'm sorry. When you gotta go, you gotta go. I would take advantage of that time because you're getting paid to take a crap.
Yeah, man.
Nowadays, I don't have a job currently, so I like to get in and out of there and continue doing whatever I was doing.
Okay.
But the next one comes from Nikolai Fogg. He says, my girlfriend got me ukulele for my birthday, and even though it has a mediocre Metacritic, I still really wanted the game. Question, can a mediocre/bad Metacritic scare you away from the game that has your interest to begin with?
No. I got Technomancer.
You did, and we also all
That's my example.
Now, it wasn't necessarily terrible, but the Metacritic was... What was the Metacritic for Mass Effect before it came out? It was in the 70s?
Yeah.
Well, 70's not even bad.
No.
So, I don't think I've ever picked up a game with a bad Metacritic score, because to be honest, I never really paid attention to those scores until like the last 6 months, honestly. Yeah. I never thought about them until more people started talking about, the Metacritic score of this game. Then I'm like, well, maybe I should look into these things. And that's when I really started paying attention to those scores. So, no, I don't think they would. If I already had interest in a game like Mass Effect, for example, everyone was kind of crapping all over, but I still wanted to play it. And I still want to play it. I just haven't gone back to it yet.
Yeah, I forgot that game existed. I will play it. The thought of there being a giant Mass Effect game that I have not played and it's awaiting me, that is exciting.
Mm-hmm. Especially after it's all cleaned up and fixed.
Exactly.
Which, it's so weird. I almost predicted that, dude. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people predicted that, but when they were not hardly talking about it before it came out, I'm like, they're totally going to release it and have to fix it for 6 months. Yeah. Which seems to be the case. But,
but no, games are opinion based. If something piques your interest, just don't let, you can Ukulele isn't getting the best reviews, but if you like that genre of game, like if you have a nostalgic feeling towards Banjo-Kazooie and that game sticks out to you and you want it, then yeah, go get it. I'm not going to just completely say that every review sucks. Every review is awful. No, if there's a general consensus that... I can never say that word right.
Consensus?
Consensus. Consensus. Is that right?
It's not easy to roll off the tongue.
It
Consensus.
I try and say that word several times on the podcast. I always mess it up. Consensus.
We can all say it together on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Consistence.
Oh, sorry, I messed up.
If there's a general consensus that a game is not very good, is probably not very good. There's still going to be some people that find enjoyment, like the Technomancer. Overall, nobody liked that game really. I still found some things in it that were pretty fun. Was it a good game? No, but I still found some fun in it.
And you platinumed it.
I did. I platinumed it.
It's incredible.
So all I can say is if a game looks interesting to you, dude, don't let somebody else tell you you're not supposed to find this game interesting. Go try it out yourself. You might like it.
I like that, Preston. It's a good outlook to have on life.
Thanks.
Eric, especially on things like Steam, like you could, and I think on Xbox too now. I think with EA maybe. I forgot what service it is, but you can try out games within like the first.
Yeah,
like 2
I know that's
hours
on
of playing
Steam.
or
I don't know if
something.
that's a part of Xbox.
However, it's coming somewhere. I think it's Xbox.
Yeah,
but yeah, you can try out a game on Steam. If you don't like it, just give a full refund for it, which is really cool.
That is very convenient.
I think that's for like digital games. I think so.
Nice. No, that's great.
If you do that with Prey, keep playing though.
Yeah.
So.
Eric Lund says, if you could take one item or spell/ability from any game into real life, what would it be? Man, there are countless I could think of.
You say Prey?
No. He says
any spell. I'm going to pick the healing spell from the Elder Scrolls series.
Why is that?
Just so I can heal myself.
How often do you get hurt?
I don't, but if I have in the back of my head, if I break my leg off, I can just heal myself.
Okay. Well, that's
I might be more adventurous if I knew I could do that.
Okay. Well, what about you, Jacob? I could think about this for hours.
I need to read the question again.
Okay. It says, if you could take one item or spell/ability from any game into real life, what would it be? You could take an item that silences your cell phone. Oh! Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean
you also don't have to worry about going to the doctor.
That's true. You could save a lot of money there.
Yeah.
You don't really need health insurance, I guess,
exactly.
At that point.
Yeah. I think that's a very practical.
That's practical. Choice. I want to be a little more fun with it, though. Now, this is one I'd be interested in. I wouldn't mind having the blink ability from Dishonored.
Yes.
I think teleportation is so cool. Now, granted, it isn't really teleportation. I mean, it is, but it's at a short distance. Now, if I could teleport anywhere, kind of like a jumper.
Would you get the upgraded version?
Oh, of course, yeah. So I think blink's cool. Spell or ability.
I'd probably do something similar with like Tracer's abilities, like blinking around.
Zipping around, reversing time and everything.
You could do a lot of bad things with that ability.
You could
steal a lot of things.
You could rob banks if you wanted to.
Not saying that's my intention.
Right, I'd do like lightning. Like a lightning spell.
Yeah.
Just so I could pretend I was like a Sith Lord. I have the best cosplay of all time.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind having a real lightsaber, you know.
Yeah, that's an item.
Does that count?
That's an item from the game. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Item, spell, or ability.
Okay. I think I'm going to take the practical choice and pick healing.
How do you feel about
I guess only
Fus Roda from Skyrim?
Roda. I mean, that's fine.
It's like a force push with your mouth.
Yeah.
You become a threat.
Why don't you just pick the force?
I know I was going to say, but it's just a little more exciting, I guess, to shout something at someone.
I guess I would pick the man with healing, and I would just heal both of you guys.
Okay, so you'd be the healer.
I'd be the healer.
You'd be the next Gandhi. You could just heal everybody.
So we should play. Now he's a support role.
All of
You'd be mankind. A literal healer.
I could just go around healing everybody.
Okay,
you would be idolized if you did that.
I would.
You would be.
I'd be considered a god.
You would literally be a god.
Yeah.
If you just went around healing people. And
maybe I shouldn't do that then. Maybe I should just open up my own clinic and just be like,
just make it seem like you're
I have to
using, like,
blindfold
medicine.
you and like have this beaker looking at it. Oh, I need to touch you for like 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Well, to be fair, if you had any of these abilities or weapons, you'd be a threat to any nation.
Let's say let's not be a threat. Preston will play the support role. He'll be the
They would
healer.
try to stop you.
Do you want to be the tank with the lightsaber?
Sure.
Okay.
What do you mean a tank?
I mean, you're the bulkiest of us all, so you'll play the tank. You can take the most DPS.
Okay.
And you'll use the lightsaber because that's a pretty strong item. And I will be I'd be like the rogue type character. I'll use the blink ability.
Okay.
And I can blink around enemies and distract them while you attack them, and Preston heals us.
Okay.
How's that?
Would be an unstoppable team.
And we'll call our group, this is just off the top of my head, but how we call ourselves the Phantom Thieves.
Okay.
Yeah. Original name, I think it sounds cool. So
let's do it.
Jared B says, hello,
that was
gentlemen.
really good.
Yeah, I know. Hello, gentlemen. I was recently asked this question. I had to ponder for a while. Ponder, excuse me, Jared. So I wanted to hear your answers. If you could only play 3 games for the rest of your lives, what would they be? I think I've come down to just 2. The NES Legend of Zelda and Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Thoughts? 3 games the rest of your life. What are they, boys? I'm going to go ahead and say...
So he asks us for 3 and he only gives us 2?
Yeah. So we got to make... How about each of us comes up with a 4th since he left one out?
Okay. He should play
You're
Uno.
cheating. You're just adding more games.
I'll give him Uno.
If anything, we should do
Uno?
less.
Yeah.
Uno, the card game?
Yeah, he can have Uno.
Dude, Uno Attack is an amazing card game.
Would you
Congratulations, you
want to
get
play that for the rest
Uno.
of your life? Yep. You have
No.
Zelda, Brawl, and Uno. Have fun, bitch.
I'm going to do GTA 5 as one of them because there are so many different things to do in that game, specifically GTA Online. Because I can run around and kill people. I can do races. I can, there's a million things to do in GTA I can name.
You only named a couple.
That's 2 of them. But there's a lot of free roaming to do in GTA. I think overall, if you're super bored, that's always a game to go to and find something stupid to do for fun. GTA 4 5 would be one of them. What about you guys?
I'm going to say something. I'm going to say Final Fantasy 14.
The MMO?
The MMO.
Okay.
I needed MMO. I'm familiar with 14. And that game will last you very, 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 very long time. So I'm going to say that. That'll be my first one.
What about you, Jacob?
Are we just doing one at a time?
Yeah.
World of Warcraft.
Okay, that's a good call. I was going to say that might be one of mine because I've never
Actually,
played
if
it.
I picked World of Warcraft, could we play with each other? Is that a rule? Can I play?
Yeah,
I'll say World of Warcraft.
I'm going to say
You
that
can play
as
with
my
all the other
second.
people that are only playing that.
That'll be
Okay.
my second one because not only have I never played it, but there's all that DLC. I know you can kind of jump ahead.
There's
now,
too
can't
many
you?
things to do in that game. There's
Exactly,
way too
so
many
it'll
things
keep
to
you occupied for so long.
Why don't
do. You
you
can
all
play Pokemon in the game.
Can you really?
Yeah, there's literally trainers that just do pet battles, and they're all over the massive world. You can just do pet battles.
Wow, dude, that's cool.
It's just a very small.
Can you play Hearthstone in the game?
No.
How cool would that be? if
But
they
there are
added it?
like Hearthstone, like you could see cards on some tables
right.
and
That's
taverns.
so cool. Okay, Warcraft and I already have my 2. I have Warcraft and GTA. What's your second one, Preston?
Oh, man. For the rest of my life.
Yeah, I can't think of a third one.
Man, this is... I'll pick a shooter.
Okay.
Just to switch some things up. Shit. I'm going to say Call of Duty World War II.
Are we allowed to say
Very
games that aren't out
bold
yet?
statement.
No. I was just going to say a call. I know that's probably going to be the Call of Duty I'm going to be obsessed with. But who knows? It could suck. I doubt it, though. But, man. You know what? I don't know if I want to share. This is hard. I'm going to say Mario Kart.
Mario Kart is awesome.
Play Mario Kart.
Okay.
This is never going to happen, so
Right.
Mario Kart.
What about you, Jacob?
Overwatch.
Good call. That's a good one. Oh, man, I don't know if I want to pick Overwatch or Halo 3 for my final one. What should I do? I'm going to follow my heart and go with Halo 3.
Oh, wow.
Halo 3, Warcraft, and GTA 5 for me.
Okay. Oh, gosh.
Throw in some Mountain Dew and my life will be complete.
Okay. I have to say Ocarina of Time. I play it like once a year,
Okay.
and I feel like I would feel super depressed if I couldn't play it. So,
Alrighty.
yeah.
I'd probably pick, I don't know.
Now, don't be anticlimactic about this, Jacob. You got to excite us a bit. You're the final answer.
About Witcher 3.
Witcher 3?
Yeah.
That's not a bad one at all.
I could play that a few times. It'd be fine.
Okay.
I probably
For
not,
the rest of your life?
Yeah, I wouldn't play it all the time.
Okay.
It is a beautiful
Do you think
world.
That's the great thing about having 3 games.
Do you think that's enough of a difference between WoW and Witcher?
That's a good point.
See, I feel like I only want one
2 medieval
game in that particular setting. Yeah.
Let's think here. Maybe I could play Diablo for a very long time.
That's a good one.
There's so many characters and so many different armor sets you can get to play differently.
The acts are always the same experience no matter who you play as, though.
Well, then they added that, the adventure mode where there's always new enemies spawning everywhere and there's new dungeons. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've played. So.
Yeah,
there are still people that still play that. We could. I think I still have the game.
I do not have it.
I do not either. Actually, I think I do. Maybe. I don't know. I forgot what I have.
You guys play without me then.
Okay.
I'll be in your thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You're going with Diablo?
I guess.
Okay.
Sure. This isn't real, so.
You have to treat it like it's real. You have to feel like the stakes are high here.
That's what I'm picking, so.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. Well, dudes, that does it for community questions. That will do it for episode 101 of this podcast.
Excellent. That was the It's Obvious Gaming Podcast, the show where my 2 best friends and I get together every single week to discuss video games. Obviously, you can find all of our content, including the video version of this podcast, over at youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming. Please, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like and comment down below. Please also leave us a review on iTunes. Jacob, have we gotten any reviews lately?
Let me check.
Yeah, you go ahead and check, and while we're at it, let's mention Twitch again.
Yeah, Twitch. We are doing a live stream on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday at approximately around 8 to 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So please come out there and support us. We're trying to grow our Twitch community, and we're doing pretty well so far. We're having
we have some good times.
Yeah, we have some good times. It's a lot of fun. We'll occasionally, if a new game drops, we'll do like a Friday, or if that game drops on Tuesday, we'll do a stream of that game. So we have a lot of fun out there. So please come help us out and follow us on there. I think that's what you do on Twitch.
I think so.
Yeah, we can't. I know we don't get subscribers yet.
Right.
You have to get to a certain level. But and like I was saying with iTunes, please leave us a review. We really want to get on that new and noteworthy page.
That is a huge goal of ours.
That is.
We do not have any new ones as far as like written reviews, but we have 26 5 stars.
26.
Wow, 26.
5 stars.
It's not bad. 26 times 5 is what? It's over 100.
Yeah, I think so.
25 times 4 is 100.
Okay.
So 26 times 5 is...
that'd be 9.
I'm bad at math.
9.
What are we talking about?
It'd be 9 stars.
Okay.
So we have 9 stars.
Wait, what are you trying to add up? What are you doing?
What's 25 times 6?
Why do you want to know that?
I mean 25 times 5. 26 times 5, sorry.
Are you sure?
That's the total number of stars we have. It's a lot of stars.
That is a lot of stars.
We're starstruck.
It's 100.
We are
It's
starstruck.
exactly 130 stars.
Oh, you're good, Jacob.
Wow.
I didn't cheat.
Okay.
You sure?
No, I cheated.
Okay.
I was putting it in my calculator.
Thank you for being honest, Jacob.
Well,
You're teaching us all a lesson today.
After knowing we're bad at math, if you still want to leave us a review on iTunes, please do so. That would help us out a lot.
It'd be awesome.
And just to reiterate one more time, I know I always say it over and over again, but if you're on anything besides YouTube, also check us out at youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming, and please subscribe to the channel, and maybe leave a like or 2 on our Let's Plays, because there is other content we have besides these podcasts, including the Ask IOG, which is not on those services yet, so you got to come here to see those. And you definitely, if you're a fan of the podcast, you do not want to miss Ask IOG.
Come see what we look like.
Yeah. And I think that'll do it.
It'll do it.
Yeah.
I believe so. We greatly appreciate all of your support, and thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys next week.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.